welcome to another Keelhauled podcast. I'm your host, CaptainLogun, and we've got a lot of Sea of Thieves news to cover today, so tie yourselves to the mast and hold fast. Ahoy there, pirates. I hope you had yourselves a good week and a good weekend. I know I did. This week, we're going to be talking about the latest Sea of Thieves podcast. This came out to us last week. It's been really nice to see just them kind of getting back to normal. It feels like with developers making a return, or the developer updates making a return with the podcast becoming more regular, it feels like Rare is kind of pulling their heads out of the sand and wanting to actively engage with some of the discussions and topics that are going on with the game. Something that I think is commendable, because as a live service game, it's definitely important for them to make sure that they are communicating and hearing a lot of the feedback and conversations that are going on with the community, the lifeblood of the game beyond the actual development of it. So it was really great to have this. We're going to break down the different topics and conversation pieces, as well as some of the stuff that's going on in the game right now. So all that and more in this week's episode of Keelhauled Podcast. But before I get into any of that, I have to thank the patrons. They're the ones that went over to patreon.com/Keelhauled Podcast to sign up to support this content for me. Thank you, everyone that does this. It really does help. I'm going to be putting the money for them from the Patreon into a small fund that will help go towards Festive Legends next year, or traveling, kind of giving that something that I can kind of like use towards the fees for the actual like Adobe software that I use, since I use Audition, Photoshop, Premiere, After Effects. Those all get paid for through the Patreon funds, and it means a lot to me that I can be able to do that and continue to use the software that is going to be the best for the quality that I'm putting out. Outside of that, I just want to let you guys know I really appreciate this. It's never a requirement, especially this time of year. I always want to let people know, like, hey, I get it. It's December. Everyone spends a lot. If you need to put a pause on your membership, totally understand. It's a support if you can. It's not anything that's required, especially given that this month I'm gonna have to try and figure out what we're going to do with the actual creator or Patreon episode. Want to make sure you guys are ahead of that, because I'm going to be on vacation. I talk about this at the end of the episode, because I just kind of realized at looking at the actual dates, I'm going to be on vacation the last like week and a half of December. It's going to overlap on a lot of weekends. So there will be an episode today. There will be an episode for the 9th and the 16th. But then I'm going to be on vacation the 23rd and the 30th. So the next Keelhauled episode won't be until the beginning of the new year on the 6th of January. So just a heads up, 3 more episodes this month, and then shutting down for the holidays. Going to come back fresh on the beginning of January for the new episode on the 6th, when we can dive into all the stuff that did not get covered over the holiday. So that's why this episode is going to cover a lot of the stuff that's happening in December, as well as some stuff that happened in the podcast. We'll be talking about that as we go into the next couple weeks. That's kind of the plan. So expect the community episode to be the first weekend of January. All right. So with that, let's get into the call outs. So thank you to A Chick, Toasts, L Cute, Balls, Blue Turtle V1, Captain Chonky, Captain Longsharts, Chateau Neuf, Super Pack, Zombie Killer, Cloud, Cosmic Johnson, Static Mirror, Davram TV, El Jefe Esteban, Godhammer 6, Jorby Jorbs, Carl Embo, Kylea the Aficionado, Lady Lilith, Evil Morpheus, Space Admiral Ors, Xbox Mike 29, Mutinous Max, Norwegian, Regis Stella the Brony Pirate, Ribloid, Rustbelt Kid, Scamel 666, Tommy D, TN Professor, Vibralux, Wezzy Cruz, Big Bad Pad, Mina Fairy, the Lore Chronologist Deadeye Dre, Hager Owl, Jeff H, Captain Duckweed, Evil Martha, Peter Miller, Rooski Doo, Thor Von Blitz, Luke Lore the Insipid Ghost, and Zam Zamm. Zamwow. We'll go with Zamwow. All right. That's going to be it for the patrons. Thank you all so much again. Let's get into it. First on today's docket, let's talk about Legends Week that is starting up this week and is going to be going for now until I believe the 9th of December. So look forward to that. There's going to be daily goals and challenges. There's going to be increased reputation and gold for Athena loot turned in. Additionally, there's going to be messages in a bottle for Pirate Legends. I don't think that there's going to be any restrictions on anyone being able to pick these up. But they are definitely going to be out there and hopefully getting people closer and closer towards that Pirate Legend status if they haven't already. And I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out. I think it'll be nice to kind of see like what the layout is. It feels like this is going to be something akin to the ones that we've had in the past few years. With this time, the reward for being able to complete enough of the messages in a bottle being tied to a tattoo set. The tattoo set, I believe, is actually going to be called the Life of a Legend tattoo. So keep an eye out for that. It's kicking up on the 2nd of December and going to the 9th. I'm not quite sure how many actual messages in a bottle you have to accomplish, but if I had to take a guess, I'd probably throw it into the somewhere around 10 category. I don't know. I might actually jump online and actually see if I can figure that out, but looking forward to that as much as I was actually looking forward to the fact that Rare came out with their latest podcast. Now, it has been a while since they've had a podcast. This one is a couple days old and really kind of breaks down kind of what's been going on. Immediately, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that they are going to be addressing the cadence of their communication. I really like that they're doing this. They're going to be doing a dev update every month, very similar to what they used to do back in the day, as well as the Sea of Thieves podcast being something that's going to be on a, what's it called? A seasonal schedule, I guess would be the best way to describe it. They're going to have one kind of in the middle of each season, which will give them an opportunity to kind of reflect on how things have been going, but also give them an opportunity to kind of tease some of the stuff that is going to be going on in the future of Sea of Thieves with future kind of future events or teases that they can give for the upcoming season. So really nice to kind of see how that's going. So to start off with the podcast, it was really nice to see that with them wanting to do this more regularly, that we'll get a better idea of how things are going with the studio as a result. Because I'll say that at the moment, it definitely feels like the studio is kind of taking stock of what's going on with their production. They've worked really hard to try and ensure that the year has really kind of nailed each seasonal timing. And with that has definitely made things a little more interesting as you get later and later into the season, realizing that things like the grapple gun were actually due out in season 12 and were pushed back internally, at least until season 14. So they're using this first kind of bit of the podcast to actually talk about and reflect on how season 14 is going and why they've decided to take a lot of time to try and adjust how they're going to be approaching Sea of Thieves in the future. I think this is all well and good. They know that the way that this season started off with came as a result of them effectively not taking time to really kind of address, like, if these things are going to be moving forward, how do we do this? How do we approach potentially stopping this in a way that's going to make sense for community members that have already been told that this is something that they're going to get? And to be perfectly honest, I don't know that there's ever going to be a good way to properly address that. If any delay was to come, I think the general sentiment behind it is that people would much rather know that things are going to be delayed because they'd rather they not be broken than have to worry about something that's actually broken. And that's something that I think has taken the studio and the community a while to kind of work out, because at the end of the day, I think there's always going to be some folks that are not satisfied with the state of the game, and you just kind of have to look past that and say like, okay, yes, we want to try and make sure that we're getting content out at a regular click, but that shouldn't come at the expense of the player's experience in the game, because at the end of the day, if players aren't having a good experience in the game, obviously they don't want to play that game. So also, before I forget, I did want to address some of the information about Legends Week, because I just got into the game, logged into Safer Seas so that I wouldn't have to worry about like recording podcast, trying to fight off ship. Not very good for keeping my attention set. So these are only available in high seas for obvious reasons. The legendary daily challenges will come during this week, and the way that you have to accomplish them to be able to get the tattoo set will be completing legendary messages in a bottle voyages. Currently, you only need to do 3 of these to be able to unlock the Life of a Legend tattoo. Additionally, there are other things that you can do. You can hand in 2 pieces of Athena's Fortune treasure to get one of the goals, kind of like fixed up with this. Let's see. Actually, I'm trying to take a look real quick. It says legendary message in a bottle voyage returns alongside increased gold and reputation on offer for any Athena's Fortune loot you hand in, and a unique tattoo to be unlocked. So the first one just says complete legendary message in a bottle of voyages, complete legendary message in a bottle of voyages during the Legends Week to unlock the Life of a Legend tattoo. Just 3 of them. That's it. You've got a legendary hull, which is hand in any 2 pieces of Athena Fortune treasure to achieve this goal. You also have unlock a Fort of Fortune vault to achieve this goal. There is the use a Skull of Destiny to activate the Fort of the Damned to achieve this goal. And then there's also the complete a Legend of the Veil voyage to achieve this goal. You've also got the legendary search for cursed treasure voyage to get that one. You're defeating 3 servants of the flame in faction battles to achieve the battle stations goal. You've also got the hand in an ashen chest of legends to achieve the smoldering plunder goal. If I recall correctly, what you'll probably have to do is do some of these to be able to get golden reputations. Forgive me. That actually, I'm not quite sure what the actual rewards for that are going to be. So I'm very curious to kind of see when this actually unlocks. Because it does look like that is it for the time being. Daily deeds are not currently impacted because this isn't live. So as far as I can tell, this has like other achievements and goals that you'll need to be able to do that are currently logged. So I'm not able to dive into the full details of that. And I don't actually think that they've gone into detail with this on the Sea of Thieves website, because I'm currently looking at like what they're going to be doing. And it says Legend Week begins. Let's see, find out more. Let's take a look how it works. Throughout the week, or throughout Legends Week, there will be double golden reputation on offer for any Athena's Fortune treasure successfully handed in. You may also be able to seek further windfalls of gold, reputation, and renown by tackling legendary daily deeds. I think that's what those are. Meanwhile, legendary legendary messages in a bottle appearing across Sea of Thieves for the duration of this event provide voyages that lead to wondrous loot. And as an extra bonus, completing enough of these voyages lets you unlock the Life of a Legend tattoo as a souvenir. Check out the in-game pirate log to keep track of your progress. Okay. Let's see. And then it talks about making it to the heights of Athena Fortune rank 50, unlock the knife-wielding natural commendation, drop an anchor at the nearest outpost, where you'll find you can now buy these expertly crafted and appropriately themed blades. Unleash them upon your enemy and drive home the point that being truly legendary requires dedication. So let me take a look at the knife wielding natural commendation, which I believe is in the Build Red Adventures. And if I remember correctly, this is going to be over in the war chest. So it is probably not going to be Title Fight, Cloak and Dagger, Triple Threat Thrower, Backbone Stabber, Phantom Fillet, Keg Knife Kaboom. So the knife wielding natural reached grade 5 in the 4 commendations that I just spoke of, which everyone probably already has done. So that should actually already be opened up as a result. So if you're level 50 and you've completed all of the commendations for knives or throwing knives in the war chest commendations under the Bilge Rat header, you'll be able to head over to the outpost or nearest outpost down in the Legends Tavern, probably, to be able to buy the Athena's Fortune throwing dagger or throwing knife. So there is that. I think that is it for that. Yeah. So daily deeds available, all available at that point. That's going on for a week. So all you need to do is 3 messages in a bottle. Make sure that you try and get some golden reputation if you need it, because it's going to be a good time for you to actually focus on Athena. I think Athena is actually one of the few reputations that I have that I don't have. Let's see, Athena's Fortune, commendations. So animals, I need to do my 500 animals. I need to get, what is it? At least a few more of the Ancient Terror. It doesn't tell me in Safer Seas, and I hate logging into Higher Seas just for this kind of stuff. I guess I could probably check it out on the front end. I need to get Veil Voyages done. That's what I need to get done. I still need to get my 100 Veil Voyages. So this will be a good opportunity for you to jump in and get your Veil Voyages done. It'll also be a good time for you to work on your Voyages of Fortune and Distinguished Legend by going out and doing some of those raid dive voyages to be able to get the little trinkets for that, which I think are, what are those called? The talismans? Yeah, they're the talismans. So good time to start working on those dive to raid voyages on your map table. Try and get that double gold and double reputation. I know I still need to get some of my ledger positions done. And the benefit of Legends Week is that I can knock up my rank fairly easy to the top 25% to be able to get it for December, because if I'm being perfectly honest, I haven't really focused on Athena in quite a while. So this will be a good opportunity for me to see how much I can get up in the ranks of distinction for Athena's Fortune during this week, especially with little messages in a bottle. I love hopping on islands randomly and checking out and see if there's anything interesting on there, because you never know. Could be a message in a bottle, could be a skeleton keg, could be a waddling barrel, could be an ancient skelly. Never know. Just have to go out and try and find it for yourself. As Duke used to say, follow your nose. Or was that Toucan Sam? I can't remember. It might have been Toucan Sam. It might have been Duke. Could have been both. There might be lawsuits pending. All right. Now that I've kind of addressed Pirate Legends Week in a little bit more detail, probably should have done that earlier. Whatever. You know what? I'm doing it as I want to do. And I guess you guys are along for the ride. Are you along for the ride? Are you in the back seat? Don't make noise. I don't want to have to turn the ship around. I wanted to go back to the actual podcast. So I like that all the dev updates are going to be once a month. I like that they're going to be doing the podcast once a season, similar to Community Weekend. I think it's something that's good to look forward to, especially when this is falling in line with just having good communication with the community. I wanted to say that at 3 minutes and 25 seconds into the podcast, Drew takes a drink, followed by James, then followed by Christina, while John and Mike are actually continuing to have their little conversation. So 3 minutes, 25 seconds into the show, everyone takes a drink except for Mike and John, who both failed the test on that one. The tavern dressed up pretty nicely, gonna say. Did some nice decorating. I too did some nice decorating today, as I point to the back area where all my decorations are, that all of the podcast listeners are wondering, why is a man pointing to something on an audio only platform? I also wanted to just say that the taverns in game are now actually like dressed up at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of December, no less. So yay for that, because I don't know about you all. I like holidays to be celebrated during the month. You've got that one friend that's like, it's my birthday month. Yes, I understand. I am one of those people when it comes to holidays. October starts before October for Halloween, or Halloween starts before October for me. Christmas starts before December for me. I am too old to care when the appropriate period is for when holidays begin. If I could, I would just be celebrating holidays all the time, because you know what? I'm happier. And if it means me getting eggnog on a more regular, consistent basis than just the 3 months before January, then I'm all for that, because eggnog is delicious. And if you don't like it, I apologize to whoever ruined it for you. It may not have been one person in particular. It could have been a brand, a company. It could have been a little slip of alcohol in there. I'm sorry. You should give it another chance with an open and honest mind, knowing that there is somewhere in this world where animals put themselves in the position to be able to offer this to us in some form or another. I don't know how we came up with eggnog. It seems really weird for us to kind of make eggnog, but it's delicious and overpriced. But I'm going to pay that price, both in weight and in money, during this time of year. So I will celebrate when I can. And I will sit in the Pirate Legend, or not even the Pirate Legend Tavern. I will sit in any of the taverns where I can hear this wonderful little crisp, Christmassy kind of sleigh bell version of our music, playing 24/7. Yeah, I don't care. There's actually a Yule log that was released 4 years ago, which was 1 year later, I think, than when I did my 30-minute Yule log at 720p. Back when Duke was hanging out in the taverns. Theirs is just far better than what mine is. But I could always go back and make another one. I probably would actually be nice. But that's available on YouTube. But you can go and sit in the taverns right now. Enjoy the festive appearance and the look. Exceptional. I love it. I'm glad when they do stuff like this with any of the holidays, because it's a pleasant time of the year to be thinking about like the enjoyment of it, and not thinking so much of the, God, why is it so cold? And also, why are these people so frickin' mean to me when I'm just trying to turn in this treasure that I definitely earned. Also, their loot was my loot to begin with. I'm just taking it back.
Come to join me, crew, lad. Welcome
All right. Aboard. I would now like to take a moment of silence for season 14. Okay, that was in remembrance for season 14. May we always remember that sometimes it's better to not have a season than to have a season without stuff in it. I still wonder if people really want features and stuff decoupled from the actual seasonal rotation. Maybe if the seasonal rotation wasn't so adamantly hinged onto selling points for why people should jump into the game, and the events and stuff that actually come with the season are actually tied to its value, as opposed to the what is currently enriching the game, and just let the updates actually come as they are ready. I think that I do agree that would potentially be a better way to do it. I just don't know how you sell that to customers playing the game. It seems impossible. But anyway, moment of silence made. Hope everyone's remembrance and just thinking about how much we loved and missed the beginning of season 14 in its proper state, in its golden timeline, where we weren't the worst timeline and had to still save the world. They go on to talk about how, by the way, if you guys didn't watch it, it was Drew Stevens, Mike Chapman, Christina, not McGrath. Her name changed, and now I'm blanking on what it was because I didn't actually write it down. I have to look this up now because it's going to bug me because I don't know. McFairholm, which I just now noticed. Christina McFairholm is no longer Christina McMurtry, or not McMurtry. Oh my God. I'm thinking John McMurtry. McGrath, no longer Christina McGrath. So I have to find out about that. I'm so curious. I don't know if it's my place. I probably shouldn't be my place, but I'm so curious about that. And also James Thomas, also known as man who leaked fire on a stream, which he even made reference to that joke in this podcast because they were talking about stuff that they shouldn't leak about future updates. And he's like, well, that's why I'm here. And I'm like, thank you, James. I appreciate you. You're awesome, dude. But yeah, Drew goes into talking about how they struggled with the quality control for season 14, how they needed to be delivering content regularly to meet the season's needs, which again, just really, really reiterates the fact that there is a delivery pipeline that is just not working for Rare on a consistent basis. He goes on to talk about how they didn't spot the issues with the features that were shut off at the start of the season until it was too late. And instead of delaying season 14, they shipped it with those features turned off. This is all stuff we know. I think the difference here is the recognition of prioritizing the player experience now. And that's why things were kind of turned off. They wanted to try and focus on the commitment that they now have for the player experience being positive and stable. Mike speaks to how past seasons they'd gotten away with this and hadn't been as scrutinized nearly as severely because the last minute fixes or a more broad negativity from the community hadn't been as bad. Mike comments on this time. There wasn't a Hail Mary fix for the issues around the features for this season, which feels like a true admission that there is just that fundamentally flawed means of how the studio is going about their development pipeline. I don't know what's going on there, but it feels like they recognize that. I talked about this earlier, but it's kind of surprising that the grapple gun was originally supposed to be in for season 12, which is very surprising to me. Glad that they delayed it, but I still feel like the grapple gun and the blow dart have a lot to be desired as far as the UI interactions. Traps too, also just wild. The not literal, but the hoops you have to jump through to try and get some of these new tools implemented in the game. It's I'm gonna say it. We need to have like a refresh on the UI because it's in dire need. The Pirate Emporium is always the first one to get the quality of life updates because that's the revenue source for the game, understandably so. But looking at what the Pirate Emporium can do now when it comes to sorting the content in that Emporium, really just points a big old stink eye right at the outpost shops and how those are handled. So really glad that that they're going to be working on stuff in the future. But man, having the knowledge that in the past things were either not bad enough to where the community was just like, well, I'm not being stopped from playing the game, so I'm not going to complain. It's buggy, it's bad, but it's not so bad that I can't play the game. That feels like it sucks. The other aspect of it is that a Hail Mary fix for issues in the past are what kept things shipping the way they did, which feels like a gamble to me, that you're literally letting things get through production so far that you have to have something that you would call a Hail Mary to hope that it would fix the issue enough that you'd still be able to deliver on time the content. I genuinely hate this practice. I hate this idea that that's how things have happened in the past, because it it shows to me that there's too much reliance on, oh, it'll work out, or, oh, we'll have a fix for that by launch. And there's got to be some dev somewhere who's just breaking their back to try and get this fix in, to try and isolate the issue, to try and ensure that it's in a shippable state. And if I'm being cruel or just honest to a point that's maybe a little harsh, I would say that there have been enough times when reading the patch notes that the quote unquote fix that was in does not, I don't know if the fix that they put in was something that actually stuck, or even something that I even recognized was the actual issue. Because there's a good chance that there was something that came in with an update that had a Hail Mary fix that there was no way for us to know because it actually worked properly and we didn't think anything of it. And behind the scenes, it almost just shipped without working. That is frightening as someone who looks at a live service game and knows that the content has to be planned out so far in advance that you understand at least what the next year is going to look like. And that if too many of these Hail Mary fixes come in, it just speaks to how the devs just do not have time to properly test, reflect, and iterate on the builds that they're making. And man, that's frightening. Like, I don't know what I need to demand less of to give them the opportunity to be able to fix some of these issues. But that's where we're at. Well, where we were at, I should say. So it's at this point that Drew says that there's a short time kind of things coming to help ensure that quality is there. The conversation around not letting bugs or issues with features get pushed forward past a certain point in development shows that there's an understanding that they were just letting quality slip before because of delivery dates. And that's something that they want to make sure that they are rectifying. He continues to address kind of the poor adoption of feedback in the insiders forums and the difficulties of pulling information that is relevant given how many things were reported in the actual forums and there still were issues with the release client. They're going to be offering more content to insiders for longer periods of time to help ensure that things are properly tested and addressing any issues that might come up as a result of it. That's when we got the introduction to James, who James was... he's been part of the team forever. He's now leading a game health team that is intended to listen to the community, deal with design and production as well too. So kind of keeping their conversation or keeping things within the design and production aspects of it and the community to make sure that they are looking at things that could be potentially harmful to the game's health. Right off the bat, they're going to be looking at exploits, game stability, and performance investigations, which they always refer to as perf. The performance investigations are going to be some of the biggest things, being able to try and get some of the memory allocation pulled back so that they can try and ensure that servers are stable. He did say that this is not something that's kind of a predictable timeline. This is going to be a little more malleable when it comes to when they find things or how well they're able to test and implement changes for their team and what they'll be able to accomplish. Also didn't know that James gets referred to as JT, like James Thomas. So didn't realize that, but that's cool. They've tried to have the teams find time in the past with their work to try and address exploits and game health, which to me seems wild that those sorts of things aren't built into the team's timeline, given that this is a live service game already. The teams have been running up for a couple months now. They fixed some of the glitches where you would get stuck in the tunnel of the damned, where you could drown, which was something that I was actually subjected to. I actually had to wait in a particular portion of my sloop where I wasn't drowning until the dive timer for the quest board was up, and I could re-dive to a new voyage to get out of the tunnel of the damned. That was really weird. So they've also worked on some of the invitation bugs on PS5, commendation blockers, and mesh optimization, which kind of goes back to the idea of where can they pull objects that have really complex meshes, which is the skin or the structure of an item in the game, and try to make that a little bit cleaner, less complex, so there's less compute issues or requirements to be able to use that. I learned a lot about this, not only in college, but also talking to some friends at Blizzard who work predominantly on like modeling objects. And one of the things that always kept coming back was each character in the game had a set limit to what would be considered their mesh. Like you had to stay under a certain threshold to ensure that that character was not going to cause issues or performance lags in there. So having them go back and start looking at all of the different objects in the game and where those can be optimized will help alleviate some of the strain on servers, just due to the nature of trackable treasure. They are working on the crates, as those are the things that are still not working properly. You're either not getting them or you're getting too many. Looking at how much physical items cause performance issues and how they can make treasure more server efficient is the general gist of what his team is currently working on. Because at the moment, if you can pick it up in the game, it's traced and tracked in the world, and that can cause issues. They did say that there are thousands of cheats getting blocked every day and are looking to upgrade easy anti-cheat in the future. They said that they're working with Epic to help with this, and that they have been able to figure out how to put in code that offers telemetry or data back to the team, in which case they're able to then look at that data, find where there are exploits, and get those blocked and auto banned without needing to necessarily have an easy anti-cheat push out and update for that. Things like that, I have to say, concern me, because if it's one thing I've learned about Sea of Thieves is that there's a lot of injected code into Unreal Engine 4 that was not only stuff that was for like patches and updates that came in post launch or post lockdown of their engine, but just a lot of extra stuff. Like Unreal Engine 5, I don't believe ever intended to have a game built on sea or on the seas. So that's all like custom code. So I don't know if this is something that is something that I'm necessarily comfortable with, because for me, in my mind, if you're circumnavigating easy anti-cheat because you want to get an exploit fixed before the easy anti-cheat can get that implemented, and you're injecting code into the into either easy anti-cheat or into the game itself to auto ban that, we've already seen a history of issues where the code does not remain as stable as it should. Past bugs, past fixes, things like that always tend to rear their ugly head. And if the team is relying on easy anti-cheat to help with stopping exploitation, I think you should work with Epic solely to do that, as opposed to, you know, going around them and saying like, oh, okay, well, it's going to take too long for easy anti-cheat to get this fix out, so we're going to do our own thing and then hope that that is maintained over the lifetime of the game. I don't know. It feels, I don't know that that's, and there's context that I'm sure I'm probably not aware of. But that seems like something that it's like, why did you bring in easy anti-cheat if you were just going to try and stop exploiters on your own after admitting that the exploits were too much and you needed to bring in anti-cheat? Let's see, 24 minutes and 42 seconds into the podcast, James and Drew drink at the same time. Thought I'd let you guys know about that. The Mimic Dart is due to come in December's update. I still think that they really need to look at the design of the blow dart, as well as the the grapple gun and traps. All of those seem needlessly more complex than they actually need to be. And that's honestly true in my experience. I have to navigate too many menus and remember too many things for me to just try and set a trap and put something in it. It's a little ridiculous. So I think simplicity there would be beneficial to the game, given how much you have to do, the things that you need to do for just even tools that are getting implemented now. And maybe that is something that we need to take a look at these tools and say, is if this is getting to be so complex that we need to have all of these different qualifiers to be able to use these tools, maybe there's too many tools. Maybe I'm crazy for saying that, but it seems like there's a lot of hoops you got to jump through just to deal with traps. The last thing that I'm going to jump into with the podcast, because I'm actually going to be covering what's going on in December, because we just got a press release. Spoilers, this is being continued on Monday, where I'm now working through the December list of stuff that they're going to be going through, so that I can kind of touch base with you on those as well too. But the last thing that I wanted to jump into is that in season 15, which may or may not be exactly after season 14, we are going to be getting an expansion to Hunter's Call, as well as the Reaper's Bones. The two last trade companies that were not included in the distinction refresh when it came to the emissary system itself. So it's good to see this. We knew that they were working on Hunter's Call. I will be very curious what they do. I'm going to let you know right now. I think that they need to really bolster the sea posts that are out there. Start making those extravagant. Start really building those up. I want to see fish tanks with different sea life in them. I want to see giant sharks being held by their tails after being caught. I want to see manta rays like being kind of used for cooking. I want to see like really build this up. Make a sea post that is currently being like used from the body of a megalodon. Make another sea post look like it is made from the head of a kraken. Make another sea post that looks like the dock is made up with the bones of a kraken's like arms or something. Like, I want to see sea posts done in a similar fashion as sea forts. Every single sea fort is the same as far as layout, but each one is aesthetically different. And that's what's interesting about those sea forts. You can go to a sea fort and you're going to get the same experience regardless, but each one has its own theme, flavor, idea. When sea ports came in, or sea posts came in, they were intended to be access points for the Hunter's Call for turn-in. So the design of them was very simplistic. It's a rock with a shop and a dock, and that's it. Let's go back. If we're going back to Hunter's Call, they need to go and actually make these things interesting. Give them themes, give them designs, give them flavor. Each character on the sea posts is a unique character. Each person there has their own story and dialogue to them. Fall into that, like go deep into the well, and yet let the creative teams actually work on that. That is something that I think actively needs to be worked on. It's fine that outposts will continue to shun Hunter's Call. I get it. They don't want them there. They decided that that's not what's going to work out. That should be respected. Just use the sea posts as something that is large and extravagant. Use a sea post that's made from, how about we take Merrick or his the killer whale, how about we go and like, since we resurrected the killer whale for the Shrouded Deep adventure, Why don't we take that and make that into Brian's Bazaar? Why don't we make the shipwreck look like it is now being utilized as we did with the Reaper's hideout for the sea post? You know, little parts of it. Give it like a sense of like, oh, well, this is the captain's cabin. Psych, it's actually the store where you can go and turn in what you need as well. And the game planks are now used as like the dock, and you can fish off of those. Get creative, you know? Like, this game does so well in some aspects and then fails completely in others. And it's like, if we're going to do a refresh on Hunter's Call, not only does there need to be predators on land, but there need to be predators in the ocean. If you're going to bring life to Sea of Thieves, we should definitely be able to summon megalodons, use those flares that were created back when we did Shrouded Deep. Give us those, make that a voyage, and then give us the opportunity to start hunting some of the harder to get megalodons. Shrouded Ghost aside, not going to bring that topic up because that's a sore topic for a lot of people. I'm talking ancient, the ancient one. No, what was the ancients? I can't remember what the yellow one's called. Ancient something. Brain is failing me right now. But do that. Give us an opportunity to hunt megalodon on our own accord, even if they're smaller and less frightening, whatever. Merrick is in the game right now. I've seen some things around online, and I haven't gotten to go out there yet. So I'm going to be going out to visit Merrick over on Shipwreck Bay. He's at his place. He's still a ghost. He hasn't been brought back from the dead, even though that's something that we can apparently stop with the whole Briggsy Tasha thing. Not going to get into that. But he was okay being a ghost. That's fine. Whatever. He's going back to to Sharkbait Cove, and he's going to he's teasing the update to Hunter's Call. We kind of already know it's going to be a thing, but there need to be things like boar that are going to charge at you, give you another thing that you have to try and catch or hunt for the Hunter's Call kind of thing. Let's do that. Let's try and build out different types of creatures that you have to. We can have passive creatures in the water, like sharks, like manta ray. Like manta ray, you can hunt them. They can be passive. You don't need an aggressive thing in the water every time you jump in the water. Sometimes you can just appreciate that there's something pretty in the water. We have all of the paintings on all of the islands out there that show that there are creatures in the world that we do not currently have in the world. We've even seen dodos in like teasers. So let's really kind of like take what we have and translate that into something that will benefit Hunter's Call. Go out hunting for manta ray. Go out hunting for boar. Go out and try and find different animals in the world that would justify having voyages for the Hunter's Call. Go on into adventures to hunt down giant creatures, you know, like megalodon, krakens, things like that. Maybe even introduce a new one. Could be anything. I'll leave that up to Rare to decide there. But if you're going to build up the Hunter's Call, I'm not even going to bother with Reapers just yet, because like Hunter's Call has not really changed at all. If you're going to build up Hunter's Call, I want to see fantastical kind of like Sea of Thieves quality from like the sea forts over to the sea posts. Those things are boring. They're dull. If you're going to keep them in the game, give them a really good makeover. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, we'll have to wait for season 15 for that. If they listen to this and realize that they are missing the mark, then delay it. I don't care. I don't need it for season 15. I'm totally fine with whatever else is going to be brought in, or even just, I mean, it can't take that long, guys. I have no clue how the development works, but I've seen y'all spin up stuff really quickly. So I know it's possible. I just don't know how. All right. The main focus I think Drew really wanted to hammer home was that the core stability of the game and the player experience is paramount right now, which really does kind of, to me, say like Drew is taking over the team for Sea of Thieves. Mike is still going to be creative director, which is fantastic, but definitely looks like Drew is willing to take the helm of shouldering the responsibility that Sea of Thieves is in a good state. All right, so I went to bed last night and I woke up and found out that they released a new article. This was to give you an overview for the month of December. So I figured let's take the opportunity to try and get everything in this episode so that we can have some conversation about what we've done with some of the stuff for Legends Week next week. So I've already kind of talked about this, but the holiday decorating, I don't know where I was going with holiday decorations have been starting since December 1st. Legends Week has already kicked off today and is going to the 9th. Holiday hauls is going to start from December 6th through December 22nd. Gift giving for all. Sea of Thieves partners, affiliate alliance leaders, and deckhands will be setting sail under the generous gift sales during this period, spreading holiday cheer and delivering a delightful array of gifts to those fortunate to cross their path. Support a streamer. This is starting on Friday, December 6th and going to December 22nd. Sea of Thieves is partnering with Twitch for December's Support a Streamer event. Twitch viewers can receive rewards for gifting subscriptions to participating streamers. Viewers who gift 2 qualifying subscriptions will receive the Celestial Steed ship cosmetics, while those who gift 3 qualifying subscriptions will also receive the Obsidian Capstan. Yes, I said that. The Obsidian Capstan, the coveted item, for $15. If you want to buy that, that is going to be going on from December 6th through the 22nd. Do not gift prior to December 6th. Only gift post December 6th until the 22nd. Okay. And it's 3 qualifying subscriptions for the Capstan. Many of you probably don't care about that Celestial Steed ship cosmetics. The Obsidian Capstan, I'll say again, from the 6th of December to the 22nd of December, you have to gift 3 qualifying subscriptions to participating streamers. I will be looking into this. I will be seeing if I can be one of these participating streamers, at which point that will hopefully make it easier for those who want to know where to go to gift subscriptions. You are buying an Obsidian Capstan. And it's also helping streamers. December monthly update. This is going to be on December 12th. This is going to offer a fresh update that drops in this month, bringing another exciting angle to Sea of Thieves or Season 14's array of stealth and mischievous with the Mimic Dart. This latest addition to the Blowpipes arsenal lets you shapeshift by targeting other players or skeletons, copying their appearance so you can seamlessly blend in with a crowd or create unexpected chaos. Once again, players who jump in during the first week after this release will be awarded a bonus stash of gold and doubloons, and all players will find another Voyage of Luck waiting for them at the quest table. If you'd love to show off the latest emote, you can also claim the Ice Sculpture emote for free when you visit the Pirate Emporium in December. Festival of Giving. This is going on from the 18th of December to the 30th of December. The Festival of Giving returns for another year with a treasure trove of daily gifts. Each day, pirates can claim a Gilded Voyage and a Voyage of Luck, drawing from an exclusive pool of these rare voyages. But remember, they must be completed the same day, as they won't stack or carry over. Adding to the festive bounty, a daily gold and reputation multiplier will boost rewards for the trading companies in turn. Across the 12-day event, each participating company, Gold Hoarders, Order of Souls, Merchant Alliance, and Athena's Fortune, will have 3 special days with increased rewards, giving crews a generous holiday haul for their efforts. From December 18th through January 6th, they are having a holiday sale. This year's holiday sale in the Pirate Emporium arrives with an animal theme, slashing prices on the Pet Protector, the Boar Hunter, the Soaring Oracle sets, and more. In addition to offering deals on some collectors' pets and all standard pets, swing by the Emporium when the sale is live to see the full selection. From December 18th through January 6th, there is the Emporium Extravaganza. It is back during the holiday sale period. Emporium shoppers can unlock the Ancient Coin Flag by spending at least 450 ancient coins, offering a stylish way to enhance their ship's appearance. Similarly, the Ancient Coin Sales can be unlocked by spending 2,000 ancient coins, allowing pirates to stand out on the Sea of Thieves in style. Golden Glory is going to be going on from the 30th through to the 6th. Golden Glory returns to the end of the year, offering a final boost to all your treasure hunting endeavors. For the duration of this event, all pirates can earn increased gold and reputation, making it a perfect time to stack your riches and climb the ranks of your chosen trading company. Then to wrap it all up, they said that they've got the Golden Scallywag Awards, which is ending Tuesday, December 31st. To ensure you have time to make the most of Season 14's features in this contest, the Golden Scallywag Awards have been extended a final time until December 31st. See the complete contest details on their website. The one thing they have not touched on in this, and the reason I bring it up is because they have actually gone in and talked about stuff that is crossing over into January, is Grogmanay. Grogmanay happens at the beginning of the year. It is the New Year's celebration, and there is a login bonus to get another notch or Roman numeral in your Grogmanay tankard. And I'm actually kind of surprised that they may be leaving this off for Grogmanay, given the nature of the timing of Grogmanay, that they may have missed the mark when it comes to announcing that this may have been something that they wanted to announce in the December update with the crossover into January. It could be something that they're waiting to talk more about in the mid-month update in a Sea of News things, and say like, hey, in a couple weeks Grogmanay is going to start up, make sure you log in and do something to be able to earn the next notch in your tankard. So that's what I'm expecting given the nature of this update, but we'll have to wait and see how things are going to roll out for that. And that is pretty much it, pirates. There's a lot that we managed to cover in a short amount of time. Kind of surprised by that. Looking forward to jumping into Pirate Legend Week or Legends Week this week to try and get my Life of a Legend tattoo set. Very interested to get that. And also to kind of work on Athena's Fortune for a while, because I definitely need to put more energy into that, specifically, instead of focusing on gold hoarders and order souls and stuff like that. So definitely going to be working on that this week in and amongst Call of Duty, because that has been something I'm still working on a review for, and just trying to enjoy games while also work on reviews for games and balance everything else. So that's going to do it for this week's episode. Pirates, thank you for listening. If you guys have any questions, concerns, you can always reach out. Best way to do so is probably going to be on Discord. I'm also on Blue Sky over at, at CaptainLogun .Blue Sky or bsky.social. That's kind of where I'm at for the most part. I will probably avoid doing anything over on Twitter anymore, just due to the nature of that social media platform being what it is nowadays. Not very happy with it. So I moved over to Blue Sky. I like it a lot better. But those are all the ways that you can get in touch with me. Outside of that, there's always the email, CaptainLogun@gmail.com. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the Patreon content as well too. Hopefully you guys are able to come in and actually hang out with me. December's is obviously going to be pushed forward a little bit as well too. That is one of those things where if you are curious, you definitely want to and you're signed up for the Patreon, but you want to be on the actual recording. I will let you know right now that recording, let's see, it looks like it says the 28th of December. Actually, that's going to work. Actually, no, that's not going to work. I'm going to be on vacation. I'm going to be on vacation on the 21st as well, too. I may have to delay that to the beginning of January because I'm actually going to be on vacation from the 20th through to the 1st. I'm actually going to be taking off pretty much that whole time period. So yeah. Won't be home, won't be able to record anything for that time period. So we'll try and have to squeeze everything in on the 7th and the 14th of this month. And then I will most likely be back on the 4th. Let's see. No, these are all Saturdays. Okay. So there will be an episode today, obviously. There will be an episode on the 9th. There will be an episode on the 16th. I will not be able to do an episode for the 23rd or the 30th for the vacation, but I will be back to do an episode on the 6th of January. So kind of a housekeeping item. Probably should have put this at the beginning of the episode, but I'll probably mention this again when I go back to actually do the recordings for the Patreon call out for this episode. So that's going to be it, Pirates. Thank you. I love you, and I look forward to sailing with you on the Sea of Thieves.